Hi children, good morning to everyone. How are you all? I hope all are fine and safe at home. We learned previous classes few more topics about force and motion. Today we are going to discuss about few new topics about force and motion. Okay children, let us move to the lesson. Can you notice an interesting fact? Do you notice that all oscillatory motions are periodic, but not all periodic are oscillatory? All oscillatory motions are periodic because each oscillations get completed in a definite interval of time. Example, on being pulled and then released. A load attached to a spring executes oscillatory motion. On the other hand, all periodic motions may not be oscillatory. Oscillatory motion is the repeated to and fro movement. Oscillatory motion is the repeated towards and front movement of a system from its equilibrium position. Every system at rest is in its equilibrium position. At this point, no external force is acting on it. Therefore, every oscillatory motion is periodic, but all periodic motions are not oscillatory. Once again, we recall the periodic motion and non-periodic motion. Changes which are repeated after regular intervals are called periodic changes. Example. An example for periodic change is occurrence of day and night. An example of non-periodic change is freezing of water. What is non-periodic change? Change which do not take place periodically, such as freezing of water to form ice, are non-periodic changes. Changes which take place in a definite interval of time are called, very good children, periodic changes. Whereas changes which are irregular and not determined with definite time are called, very good children, non-periodic changes. Day and night, changing phases of the moon, beating of heart, clock striking and hour are all examples of periodic motions, whereas water becoming ice, burning of matchstick, etc. are non-periodic changes. These examples is very helpful to understand the periodic and non-periodic changes and motion. Examples of periodic motion: the motion of the bulb of the simple pendulum, the motion of a planet around the sun, motion of the tip of the minute and hour hand of a clock, motion of a boy sitting in a swing, motion of the needle of a sewing machine operating at a constant speed. Examples of non-periodic motion: swaying of branches of a tree, motion of a bouncing ball under the action of gravity and friction, the running of a batsman between the wickets, motion of the pistol in a motor when operated manually. These are all examples of periodic motion and non-periodic motion. The type of motion which is combination of two or more type of motion is called multiple motion. The new topic we are going to discuss about multiple motion. The type of motion which is a combination of two or more types of motion is called multiple motion. Previous class we learnt different types of motions. Yes children, very good. When a body possesses more than one motion, then it is said to be a multiple motion. Multiple motion. What is multiple motion? When an object possesses two or more types of motions at the same time, then such a motion is called multiple motion. Example: when a spin bowler delivers a ball, the ball has a motion of spin, that means rotatory motion, while it moves towards the batsman, that means translatory motion. A vehicle performs both rotatory and translatory motions. The wheels of a bicycle perform rotatory motion and the bicycle itself performs translatory motion. A drill used by a carpenter shows both rotatory and translatory motion. When the drill is rotated, that means rotatory motion. The wood gets pierced, that means translatory motion. Few more examples of multiple motion. A pulley used to draw water from a well also executes both rotatory and translatory motions. The wheel over which the rope runs has a rotatory motion, while the bucket and the rope have, very good children, translatory motion. Look at the bicycle. What type of motion does the wheel perform? What type of motion does the cycle in total perform? The tires rotate and make a rotatory motion, but the cycle such as moves forward in a linear motion. The needle of a sewing machine moves up and down repeatedly with a certain time interval, so it is known as example of periodic motion. Multiple motion in a sewing machine. Motion of what is motion of the needle? What is the motion of the wheel? What is the motion of footrest? We will see the answer here. The motion of the needle of sewing machine is periodic motion because it's repeatedly occurred. Reason: oscillatory motion means the object repeats to and fro motion. Oscillatory motion means the object repeats the to and fro motion, that means towards and front motion from its mean position. The needle of the sewing machine moves up and down repeatedly with a certain time interval. Motion of the footrest is in the sewing machine, very good children, non-uniform motion. The motion of the footrest in the sewing machine is the example of non-uniform motion. The moving of a wheel sewing machine is in a rotational motion. The moving wheel of a sewing machine is in rotational motion. The circular motion is uniform, so it is also periodic motion. Example of multiple motion: you are traveling in a train. You are wearing a wristwatch. Your watch is in linear motion due to the movement of train. The hands of the watch is rotational motion. This is also example of multiple motion. Okay children, we will meet at next class with new chapter. Thank you children. Hi children, once again we can recall oscillatory motion. Oscillatory motion, it is the motion of the oscillating body around its rest point, where the motion is repeated in equal period of time.
Oscillatory motion. You must have played on swings. A swing moves from one extreme position to another and back again. It takes the same time for every such complete swing. One complete swing is called an oscillation. Such a back and forth repetitive motion is called oscillatory motion. The movement of a bird's wings is an example of oscillatory motion. When a sitar string is plucked, what kind of motion does it get? Yes, it is also oscillatory motion.